for sure. Alabama. That all they do is Alabama. It's like 7 Alabama players on that Las Vegas roster, bro. As a content creator, it is hard to come up with stuff, keep you guys entertained, be consistent. We were talking about the trolls and how they were trolling Kevin Gates because I didn't have anything else mess wise, you know. So the troll talking to the trolls, can you do what we do? That is
What were they trolling? Kevin Gates wasn't trending.
oh you ain't see Kevin Gates he had the show he jumped and pulled his legs up in the air. They was out here saying he looked like Rey Mysterio. Kevin Gates lost weight and just started doing anything. Oh yeah, that he was the hot meme on Friday. Because
Okay,
again,
well, I
people
got
be
what was
going.
trending today, and he wasn't it. So the internet
What's
shut
trending
down.
today?
The internet shut down today. There was no Twitter. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram for a while. And Sage Steele is trending, but it's all about what's trending. So I didn't update me on Kevin Gates.
Uh, man, Kevin Gates was at a show. He did a show. He jumped, not in the crowd or off stage, but just jumped in the air, pulled his legs back, and they was talking about him. He doing too much. You know, people. Well, basically, what me and T was saying, everybody has a critique, right? Like you said, everybody can critique a football player, a basketball player. Everybody has a critique. But can you do what that person does? Can you do it halfway at the level that person does? It's easy to critique people on what they're doing. Can you do? Most people are gonna say no, right? Um, Daniel Rollins was telling about how got his comedy start. He got his off trolling the comedians. He was going down trolling the comedians, but then got up there and was able to do it. Most of y'all would not be able to get up there and do it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. For content creators, for trolls, we need y'all. But my thing
It's a
is,
part
like you
of the
said,
business.
right, we need y'all. But as part of the business, let me see if you can do what I can do. That's how
I
you
don't. I
shut
don't
the
think. I don't
door.
think. I don't think. I don't think they want to do it. They want to have an opinion, and you go harder, right? So with
Mm-hmm.
fans is the reason why content creators or artists like Kevin Gates they exist. Um, I'm not familiar with the Kevin Gates story, but Sage Steele is being, it's not looking good for sis. She, first it was the vaccine. Her company was forcing her to take the vaccine, and now it is that women know they know what type of negative attention they're going to get when they put on certain clothes. So, you know, and she was talking to Jay Cutler. So there's
Mm-hmm.
certain conversations. I made this statement last night for me that it's
Jay
easier
Cutler.
for me.
What's she
Say that
talking to Jay
again.
Cutler? What's she talking to Jay Cutler about?
Well, she was on his podcast.
Oh,
Okay, so listen, there are certain people that have platforms that their whole job is to create a position of favor with a particular group, and then there's those people who their job is simply that they don't even get paid for is to get on the internet and troll people,
mm-hmm.
to leave nasty comments, and that is the reason, right? So watch how I'm about to do this. That is the reason that social media was down today because of people like the trolls.
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook had a story last night that was on 60 Minutes. There was an inside whistleblower at Facebook who formerly worked at Facebook, who sent stuff to the SEC, basically about the culture of Facebook and how the negativity takes place on the platforms, but the algorithms are set up to give us that negativity. So those trolls that we see on Twitter and Instagram and the nasty comments, the algorithms are set to show us those things in our feed that gets us interested in engaging in the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they're going to show you Kevin Gates is trending for the day, and that's how things become. The algorithms get things to trend. So the negativity about Kevin Gates, you get 700 other people who jump in who don't even really know who he is, but they just find something nasty to say, and now you got the negativity going. He's doing too much.
Thanks.
When some of these people didn't even know who he was, you just started listening to Kevin Gates yesterday, and as you guys were talking about before we went back live, you want to decide how much people can grow and evolve
Without your help, you
without
know
your help.
what? What's the one thing our parents always told us or reiterated to us? Everybody loves a success story. Everybody loves someone they can say they put on.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook don't want to. Facebook don't want. It's either you win viral. They don't want nobody who built their brand up without their help, right? Because again, it's easy to build your brand on these platforms. It's gonna take you time. It's gonna take you engaging with
Right,
different
but the
people.
thing is, the negativity sells, right? And that's what I got. Like, we got to recondition our minds and really understand the business aspect of things and the reason that trolls exist.
And you
You
know
need
what?
trolls to go viral. You
Fact.
need trolls because the trolls are actually Kevin Gates. They're for
You're
all the people
engaging.
who they're engaging, and for all the people who don't, all the people who have something negative to say about Kevin Gates, there's another group of people who didn't even know who he was is going to go download his music. So it's a good and a bad thing, and that's how these platforms work. And that's why, like I said, after the 60-minute story yesterday, I was so not surprised that the internet shut down today, right? Because it is the nasty and the negativity that keeps it going, and creating the drama and the beef and the reasons that people from across the world can engage and hate each other. The reason that jobs are now monitoring your social media. You really have no freedoms, And when we talk about freedoms, I feel like I feel like off right has the right to be off right. I feel like they have a right to get in these groups and plan an insurrection. Like they have we're taking away fundamental rights. But the
Mm-hmm.
algorithms, based on what you like, based on what we say, based on what we post, leads us to these groups. So if you're talking, so like you said, what Donnell Rollins was like trolling, they were giving him the comedians to troll because that's what he was looking at every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what you're searching, then that's what they're gonna give you. If you're
But now
looking
in
for,
real life, Danielle Rollins an old man.
but that's not how you got started doing comedy, was it? So, but he was trolling them in real life, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
watching Eddie Murphy and then talking about Eddie Murphy, watching Richard Pryor, talking about Richard Pryor.
No. Danielle, no. He was just small time, probably the early '80s before Def Jam, right? Def Jam
Right.
was, yeah. So he would go to the little comedy. I think he's from New York. And he was just and let me tell you how funny he is, and you had to catch it. He was on the Breakfast Club and he was trolling uh Charlemagne and DJ Envy all at one time. Charlemagne said so. He said like, my brother don't fuck with you. Stop talking about my brother. He don't fuck with you, right? And then DJ Envy said, "Oh yeah, because you black the blue. You bright skin. You all about the blue. My dad." He said, "Yeah. We know." So it was just, there. I have no problem with trolls. I'm a troll, but I'm a troll to troll in your face, right? That's what I like. I like the troll. I like trolls that are troll. Like Danielle Rollins was a real life troll. I don't like social media trolls. You're needed, yes. You're a hater. You're needed, but you're not gonna come. You're not gonna come to my show and troll me. I send you a ticket. Come troll me in real life. You know what I'm saying? That's the trolls I don't like.
But you
Then
don't
if
have
you
as much of an effect trolling in real life as you do on social media now. Because one, we're COVID, so there are not as many people in the building. Two, no one else can see the traction and the backlash and the conversation. And trolling, for me, come troll me. Come troll my page. Come leave nasty comments. Because it kicks up my engagement. Like that's all that it does. And that's how the engagement, what I need people to understand is that's how engagement works. That's how social media channels, like for all the people that were dogging Kevin Gates at Kevin Gates, that just helped Kevin Gates on every platform that they were talking about it. We're now talking about it. Anybody
Mhm.
who goes back and watches this show, and whenever we get these uploaded back on podcast, they're listening to that. They don't know who Kevin Gates is in Bangladesh. Well, they heard about Kevin Gates on the show, they're going to go to Kevin Gates. So now he's trending again, or he's getting listeners, or they're liking something and they're sharing it. So we need to figure out how to make trolls work in our favor. And it's
Work
okay
in
not
your
to,
favor.
huh?
Work in your favor.
Then you need to figure out how to make them work. For me, they work in my favor. If you had the time to comment, that means you came to the page and I got to click. The
Mm-hmm.
15 seconds, the 2 minutes, the 3 minutes, whatever you watched, I had the ability to see you click, and it is what it is. And that's just where I am with social media trolls. Sage Steele, I was rooting for Sage for so long because Sage wore her natural hair. Like, you didn't see black women on TV with locks and twists and natural kinks and coils. And she did, right? But she's a real life troll at this point because she basically says that she doesn't identify as black. Um,
She said that a minute ago,
yeah, but she keeps reiterating it. She's even made the statements that she doesn't think Barack Obama checks black. How can you be black when you didn't grow up around your black family members? Listen, black people, let me remind y'all, y'all are all black. At the end of the day, the beginning of the day, you're black, okay? If your skin is brown, you're
You're
people of
black.
color. You know, if you're brown skinned, you're a person of color. Okay, I don't. Your nationality can be Hispanic. You're considered a person of color. You're not white. Hispanic people, you're not white either. I hate to tell y'all the truth, but you're not white, and you need to be okay with that. And that's what social media is like. It keeps up these type of conversations about people like Sage Steele and her, how she identifies and how she comes at black people and doesn't stand on the side of black people. Just like Candace Owens. Ladies, y'all are both black. I hate to inform you. I'm sorry that your mamas didn't tell you, but you black. And it's okay. It's okay to be black. And if you quit making statements about women, and God forbid that anything happens to you as a woman, that you're in a job and you're sexually harassed. You're walking down the street and somebody inappropriately touches you. Something happens to your daughters because you've put out this narrative that it's okay for people to, things happen to women who dress a certain way. That's about, that's a really silly statement. They deserve to judge you for that. And when we have these platforms, we have to understand you you want to be trolled, right? Because you want the engagement. So
Yeah.
sometimes when you set yourself up to be trolled, accept the bad behavior, accept the bullying, accept the threats, and move on. Now, me personally, I have way too much to do in my life to sit around and threaten people on the internet. I have better things to do. What about you?
I'm here for the engagement. I don't have time to get on your page. Let's just say, we start a group and it's 10 of us in the group, and we're going on each other's page and leaving comments, having fun. Cool. But I'm not gonna go to nobody page. Let me tell you the secret. Most time I don't even go to people page. I be on social media, tell my jokes. I see something that was shared, I laugh at that. Other than that, I don't care what y'all got going on. Like every once in a while, I might go check an ex page, see what she got going on, see if her life messed up, see if she gonna let me slide through a rub on her real quick. Other than that, I don't be caring about what people be talking about because I'm on my bit. Let's say about 2 years ago. I say for the past 2 years, that's why my social media has not be blocked. It was mess, right? Like, but it was engaging conversations. All right. Now, I ain't had no fallout since then. I still have engaging conversations, but people were attracted to the mess.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to see what was going to happen, what mess was going on. Right. Because again, I'm never worried about, having proper correct content. I'm going to create messy content. People love mess. My neighbor asked me yesterday, was me and my baby mama getting married? Girl, you hear us in here arguing. You hear us in here arguing like cats dog. You know we're not getting married. But the mess. That might have led to a conversation with most people. Because most people won't tell you their business. Oh
Right.
yeah, well, we was thinking about nah, You had first of all, you had too many questions. Me, I want you to have my business. Okay? Because
But
again,
people like mess. Like, that's the reason why people are engaged in mess.
people like mess and people love to tell folks they business.
And people love to
Get
see
me out
other
of there.
people miserable. Like, that's the reason why social media is what social media is. It is perfect for engagement. It's perfect to dissect people's lives. It's perfect to assume that, oh, because somebody posted that they were having a good time, oh, they act like they happy all the time. No, they just didn't give you the bad of their life. And in
Mm-hmm.
reality, most of us understand no one cares when you're having a hard time.
Bro.
No, most people are really, I mean, like, unless you say pray for me, most people are not praying for you. People don't care. People like to see people doing bad. So these comments, they're not understanding. And that's why bullying is such a thing in school. We need to teach our kids. You got adult bullies. So you can't stop children from being bullies when your former president of the United States was on using social media to be a bully. And that's what these platforms are now engaging with of why that you're getting blocked. Because like you said, the mess was going, and anything that you say, it's offensive. You can't say things about private parts. You can't even say somebody was fine that didn't ask you to say they was fine. You can't even be like, oh, that man, he look good. He may feel offended and block you. Like you just don't know.
You know
And
what? I think the beautiful thing about my lane, I'm telling jokes, and that'll be, hey man, where she was offended. You offended by a joke?
well,
Like,
even with jokes, right? Even with jokes.
how? My thing is, bro. Again, I understand cancel culture. So now y'all telling us what we can and can't say, how
But
we
it's
can and
when
can't
it's
say. We
convenient,
can't,
right? Because
cause,
TikTok
cause
has
look,
been
we can't
saying
talk
black.
about the LGBTQT. We talk about fat people. Fat
Well,
people,
fat
fat just.
people don't know that they're supposed to have rights. I guess yet. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that everybody takes things so personally. For me, like, don't engage. You don't know me. So if you see us on here, again, we say pull up the podcast, we just talk about the headlines. I don't really care about these people's lives. Like,
Facts.
and I try to make that clear. We're having conversations, we're keeping people informed, we're engaging people in conversations. TikTok has been having the discussion about how black content creators are getting blocked. And we know the same thing is happening to our content as well on social media, right? We're very cautious about what we say, and we're very understanding that we have a platform that we need to be responsible with because of the culture that we live in. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
very much aware of the information that I put out needs to be information that can be fact checked. It needs to be educational. It needs to be informative. And it needs to not be negative in the light of adding negativity to these spaces. Right? But I know my information gets suppressed because it's not always going, oh, Mr. Shaw, did you know that today on your timeline, oh girl who went to high school but you had a baby with so like America loves that.
Mm-hmm.
They're mad at Wendy Williams now, but America consumed that. White America loves Wendy Williams. Black America, I think people of color, we're getting hits because they don't understand our comedy. They don't understand our culture. So there's certain things that we're posting or we're doing and it's being received as offensive because we do it our way. It's that's the reason why Black Twitter is Black Twitter, because sometimes what we're talking about, it's not for you. And we're not saying, Kevin Hart is not saying he doesn't want you to be a fan, but when he's talking about barbecuing and certain stuff that we do within our culture, it's not necessarily for your consumption.
Facts. Because if you're not in the culture, now there are some with the persuasion color who have wanted to be integrated into the culture.
Or grew up around it.
So they gonna sit back and they like, man, chill, you don't know what you're talking about. Just listen,
Exactly.
right?
They're not
They
offended.
ones now either you got the ones who know, hey, sit back and chill, or you got the ones who so in they respect it already. They can move. They can move like they black. They know what words not to use because they in the culture, right? So
And
again,
it's just
it's
what it is. It's culture. And I think that's where we're having the issues. Like we talk
because
about each
most
other
of
in
us
our
don't want to
culture.
be in y'all culture. The ones that want to be in y'all culture, y'all know who they are. They dress like y'all, right? We might be a little nosy. People are nosy. We might open the door, crack a little bit. What's going on white Twitter? It's a little boring. It ain't got no salt. We're gonna come back. All right, we're
Right.
gonna be able to. Ain't no salt over there. We're gonna come back. They ain't putting no
Right.
pepper on that neither. There ain't no pepper on them top. We're gonna slide back, right? Julie might have 3 baby daddies, right? And Julie don't have, all Julie baby daddies get along. They all go mud. We're gonna get up, drop the keys off
Right.
Julie.
And
We all
I
gonna
and I
go
just
mud.
think it's too
But
everybody's so
Quisha can't get her baby daddies to get along for nothing, and they partners. They might even be cousins. They still beef. Like, bro, come on, be cousins.
it's just our culture is different. And then with surgeries, I know some of the doctors are getting blocked on social media for like, on TikTok for showing BBLs. Like, listen, mothers, teach your daughters to have some self-esteem and confidence. Um, People choose to have cosmetic surgery because they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Don't blame people for getting PPP loans because they chose to do that. So if a doctor is not showing anything that's revealing, if he has the breasts, open because we can show breasts, we can't show nipples. That's always been the rules. nips, woo-ha, backside. I'm trying to use appropriate words. That's it. Nobody told your daughter to go sign up for a BBL. Okay? If your daughter's feeling uncomfortable with her body, that's internal. That has nothing. So, and some of this, in my opinion, has nothing to do with social media. For parents, you need to monitor your kids' content. Stop buying iPhones. Your kid need a flip phone, and we need to be realistic in what we do, and we need to take some accountability for what we do. Okay, drugs. Your kids cannot get prescription drugs unless they go to the doctor. Hey doctors, stop handing out prescription drugs. Hey parents, stop letting your kids go to the doctor unmonitored. You parents have got to be responsible for their kids. So while parents are on social media bullying people, your daughters are on social media believing they need to have a BBL. It's your fault, mom and dad. It's not. Quit waiting on social media to raise your kids. You want them to have appropriate content. They're not even supposed to be on here before 14. So if you give your kid access to sign up for Instagram and Twitter, you ask for your kids to be exposed to grown people content.
And you know what I'm not liking about the social media, like you say, Facebook. Y'all stop. We grown here, right? We all grown here, and if they not grown, then they need to stay away from my content, right? Or do I need to go on my page and put my on Facebook, go through and put my disclaimers like the movies do, right? Parental discretion.
Well, maybe Facebook needs to build in a option so that I can put 18 plus.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to tag a button.
Because again, for y'all to be, we're grown-ups, bro. You can't be telling grown-ups what to say and what not to say.
And why do I want to be on your platform? Because you're going to monitor everything I say and do because 10 people over here. If people report it as hate, if people are reporting it as hate speech, people reported it as hate speech. Like, how about you unfriend these people? If you don't like what someone posts, it's as easy as unfriending yourself. Like, you don't even need to unfriend them. Just erase yourself. And let me guess. Mr. Shaw, did you know you had been unfriended?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You found out that you was unfriended?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Say you didn't even know until somebody told you, I'm sure.
Nah, for sure. I wasn't looking.
Exactly. So if you don't like, the moral of the story is for social media, if you don't like the content that somebody's posting, unfriend yourself.
I don't think that had nothing to do with the content.
No. But my point is, you can unfriend people, and people never know you unfriended them.
That don't make sense to me, man. You got a whole nother. What you gonna do with you? You ain't never come around your child now?
Listen, it is what it is. This is your girl, Candy K. Lynn.
And your boy, Shawton Shaw, aka the Fat Mamba, bewildered by people in their delirious ways.
It's been another episode of Pull Up Podcast. Until next week.
Man, we out.
We out.